the focus and a bit more in terms of macros now. Parikshit spoke with the World Bank's India head to understand how India could achieve its lofty goal of being high-income economy by 2047. Listen in to some of the excerpts of that conversation.
Growth is driven by factors and productivity. Under the scenario where India will achieve a high-income status by 2047, all the engines of growth will need to be fired up at a higher rate than the past, at a slightly higher rate than the past. First, on investment and capital. So our scenario suggests that investment will need to grow. Investment is at a respectable rate now. Private investment is around 25%. It will need to grow to about 30%. Added to that, you'll have public investment from the center and the state, and together, overall investment will need to reach 40%, right? And it is possible. It can be done. Second, on the human capital and labor side, the contribution to growth will need to be higher as well. And that means sectors that generate jobs will need to grow faster, such sectors such as agribusiness, the care economy, tourism. They have, and transportation, they have a high job content, so they will need to grow so that they employ more workers. And at the same time, the workforce will need to be skilled. Will need, there will be a need for more investment in skilled workers, and also unblock or remove some of the constraints to labor force participation.
The report speaks about the need of leveraging the demographic dividend. How long is this window that we have? So,
India now has a youth bulge, which is very significant. And, we don't have an exact estimate in our report, but I've seen numbers floating around that the window that India has to capitalize on its demographic dividend before it gets to the other side of the curve when the population starts aging is not very long. Maybe it's about 20 years, maybe it's 30 years, maybe it's 15 years. So there are various estimates because it depends on the population growth you assume. It depends on the retirement age. It depends on how long people can work. It depends on the evolution of how long people live, simply put. But the point is that there is a window. It is not very long. It's not too short, but it is quite tight. And within that window, what we say in the report is whatever that window is, it's important to invest in skills so that the youth that India has now, which is a dividend, is able to work in well-paying jobs and can work in sectors that are growing and can meet the demand of the private sector that wants to invest in those sectors, in those growth sectors. So time is of the essence to invest really in upskilling and maybe reskilling some of the workers.
Okay, let's move on.